I promise you folks, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't.
Alec Baldwin is urging Hollywood to employ a police officer on every film and TV set that uses guns. Every film/TV set that uses guns, fake or otherwise, should have a police officer on set hired by the production to specifically monitor weapon safety.
What happened didn't happen because there were no police on set. The gun was in your hand. You pointed the gun. You pulled the trigger. You are so incapable of taking responsibility for your own actions that you need to have an officer there to tell you, hey guy, don't point that gun at that person. Don't pull the trigger. Don't shoot that person. This is why the gun debate is what it is today. We literally will blame an inanimate object, a gun, the thing that's it's not even alive, but we'll blame that whenever somebody takes the conscious effort to go out and murder a bunch of people, and we'll blame the firearm. And not only will we blame the firearm, we'll then say, you know what? Because this one dumb individual or evil individual or incompetent individual has decided to do this thing with this particular item, we're going to ban it. We're going to ban it from the scores of you people out there who've been using this thing safely for decades to protect themselves, to protect their family, and all of the above. Yet we're going to strip you of your right to be able to do that because of this one imbecile over here who's decided to use this gun recklessly. I think people have this misconception that cops are these super gun-wielding John Wick individuals who know everything about firearms. This is not an indictment on the cops. To be honest with you, I think it's an indictment on the system of police with respect to the fact that they do not allow these officers to get the training that they need in order to be able to handle the guns to the effectiveness that I think they need to in order to be able to do their job effectively. They do not have that training. You know how many times I've gone to training courses, private training courses, and the cops have to go and pay for the training themselves? I applaud the cops who go and do that. I really do. It says a lot about them. However, you mean to tell me that you think you're just going to have a police officer on set and all of a sudden he's just going to be this genius when it comes to firearm safety, when it's honestly kind of understood that a lot of cops really do not understand firearm safety to the degree that they should. And by and large, it's because of lack of education. All of this can be thwarted with just education. That's all it is. You don't need a cop to stand guard and say, hey, you can't use that firearm the way that you're trying to use that firearm. Let's say there was a cop standing there. The studio is paying the cop the same way the studio or the production company is paying the armorer who's supposed to be on there to provide safety to begin with. A cop would not have stopped this. He would have stood there, watched the whole thing take place just like everybody else did. Cop isn't going to do nothing. You're trying to thwart blame. You're trying to pass it on. And truth be told, the only person responsible for what happened with the gun in your hand is you, because the gun was in your hands. It is unfortunate what happened. I know it probably makes you sick, but it happened because you decided to do what you did. You didn't understand gun safety. You don't even want to understand it now. You're trying to pass it on to a police officer to baby you like you're a child. It's as simple as understanding the 4 rules of gun safety and not breaking them. You could even break one of them and still get away with not hurting anyone. You have to consciously break both of them, or you have to consciously break 2 of them in order to get to the point where you actually hurt someone. But yet you don't want to take that accountability. And that's what I'm talking about when we talk about the gun debate in this country. As long as people are refusing, as long as people on the other side of this debate are refusing to accept personal responsibility and accountability with respect to how they handle firearms, we're never going to get anywhere. And we're going to keep getting this. We're going to be like, we're going to have accidents that happen on set like this. And even though his actions were deliberate, they just weren't intentional. But then you could argue they were intentional. And we're just going to keep banning stuff. They're going to start banning guns from movies. Then they're going to have police officers. Then, like, if you really think about it, it is analogous to exactly what they're trying to push in real life, right? Everything has to go through a police officer now. Oh, we need to have universal background checks so that we know exactly what's going on with this. We need more government here, more government there. It's unnecessary. We don't need it. You really don't. If you just taught firearm safety, this wouldn't be an issue. A cop standing there is no different than an armorer who you hired for gun safety on set. You're trying to pass the buck, and it's kind of gross. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.